Hey, HR friends, welcome back. So, we're going to do a confirmation video on that massive Miami apartment building fire. Now, the reason we're focusing in on this, not only did this make national news, but Miami hasn't had a fire this big in 25 years. This was a three-alarm fire and brought all kinds of fire departments in to try to get this under control. Now, what was unique about this fire is it was set by an individual. So this fire started out as a conflict between an individual and a building employee. And then after the building employee was shot, the suspect went up to his apartment and set it on fire. So we're going to be looking for electromagnetic agitation at these times. And we've already got the time set here. So this is Monday morning, 8 a.m. This is when the gentleman that shot the other person or the building employee was around 8 a.m. is when they heard gunfire. And then at 8:15 a.m. is when the firefighters were called in and they started to smell smoke. So these are estimated times, but they're pretty close. All right. So first of all, let's look up here and see. So there are no alignments that are dead on. Now, this ME, you got to understand that this is just this is when it peaks. Now, there's going to be a lot of strength on either side of this thing, but there isn't a clear alignment that's happening here. Okay. So, but again, this is also a conflict. So this gentleman decides to do this at a certain time. So now we're going to want to look at the electromagnetics here. So to do that, here we go. And what a surprise. So at the first person level, you can see we're amping up. At the third person level, you can see we're amping up. And at the combined level, you can see we're amping up. This is at 8 a.m. This is when the gentleman shoots the other employee there, when the resident shoots the employee. And now we're just going to fast forward it here to 8:15. Okay, so we're going to 8:15. This is when the fire's set. And we're going to go back and look at the electromagnetics. Okay, wow, right at the peak, right at the peak, right at the peak. So what we're demonstrating here is the timing of why this would happen when it happened. Now, when we come back here, this fire was extremely difficult for the fire department. And what I was looking for today is when the firefighters were called out of the building because it became too extreme. The heat became too much, the fire became too much, and we would assume that that's going to follow during these alignment patterns here. Now, that information isn't quite out yet, but I did want to show you how accurate the electromagnetics for this are, as this absolutely said why this would happen, when it happened, uh, going forward here. Anytime there's any major event that happens and an individual is incorporated in the start of that event, we would want to come and check the electromagnetics to see exactly what was happening in the unseen energy field to understand why those defensive or aggressive actions are happening then. Okay, I hope that was interesting for you, and we'll talk to you soon. See you next time.